the water. He's searching, where is the water? Where is the water? And that's the definition of Andakupam. Prahlad Maharaj says to Lord Nrsimhadev, he says to his father Hiranyakashipu, Tatasadu manye asura vairya dehinam sadasam udvigna dhyam ashata grihat hitva atmapatam griham andakupam vanam gato yad harim ashrayat. That the person who has accepted his temporary material body, his intelligence is always full of anxiety. His intelligence is always full of anxiety. Why? Because he has accepted the material body. Then, hitva atmapatam griham andakupam. This material body, this human life, this temporary material life is like andakupam, griham, temporary household life, where self-interest. He has to give up this material life and go to one, that is Vrindavan, in the forest of Vrindavan, where he can continuously remember Krishna. That's the meaning. There is another verse called Evam Kutumba Ashant Atma. The person who has accepted the material life, his soul is always in anxiety. Then Dvanda Armanya, he is always in the duality of male and female. Dvanda Armanya means pleasure. He is trying to find the pleasure in the sexual life. Like a pigeon. And what happened? The miser man who is trying to maintain his family, he will suffer and sa anubandha avasidati. And along with his relatives, he will take his relatives also with him. So that is a condition of this human conditional life. Attraction to the family life is very strong as well as it's very dangerous. We often hear the story of King Indra. Indra was cursed by Lord Brahma to get to the earthly planet and live like a hog. He was very happily living like a hog in the mud, in the reservoir of mud where there is nothing, and he was eating stool with his wife, and he has got many children. And so his curse period was over, and Brahma came down to the earth and told Indra that, Indraji, your time is over, and the heavenly kingdom is waiting for you. You please come. We want you over there to rule the kingdom. There is no king over there. And he told him, what do you mean? I'm Deha Apatya Kalatra Adishu. I'm happy with my family. I'm happy with my daughter. I'm happy with my relatives. This is my family and this is my food. I'm very happy. I don't want to go anywhere. But Brahma told that, no. You are Indra. You have to come upstairs. And, no, I don't want to go. And Brahma has to cut his knot by killing each and every one of his family members. And then he understood that, okay, now I have to go upstairs. This is the meaning. For example, the best example I have to give is that we went to book distribution in Minnesota. And there was a good Indian family. They were very, very pious family. And they were very devoted. And the husband was not too devoted, but wife was very much devoted. And they called us to the prasadam. And so we went to the prasadam and they cooked very nice prasad within half an hour or 1 hour. And Mataji was serving and she was in the red dress, and she was not eating food. And so we asked, Mataji, you also take food with us? She said, no, I can't eat today. And what was the reason? Because today was Garva Chauth. Okay, there was some reason that for the long life of the husband, a female in India, they used to take a Garva Chauth, a kind of a ritual or kind of a thing that she don't eat food in the day before she look at the moon in the night times. So that, okay, Garva Chauth, that's fine. And her husband was praising like anything, that she is a very devoted lady. She used to do everything like such a beautifully. And we asked the definition of devotion. Mataji, how do you do the devotion? Do you chant rounds? No. There is no need of chanting. We close our eyes in front of Krishna and we see the light. That is great. And that was his conception of devotion, that seeing the light in front of Krishna, not chanting. So next day, they came for the morning class. And there was a time that we can tell them that what they are doing is totally wrong, because the conception of devotion is totally unclear and hazy picture was there in their mind. You have to chant 16 rounds, you have to follow the scriptures, you have to follow the rules and regulation, and that's how you can follow Krishna. You can get Krishna like that way. And that's how we try to cut the knot. And we give the example that Guru na sasyat, Svajano na sasyat, Pita na sasyat, Janani na sasyat, Daivam na tatsya, na pati tatasya, Namo chayadya samupretam mrityum. That Guru is not Guru, that mother is not mother, that father is not father, that husband is not husband, and that relatives or a demigod is not a demigod who cannot get you out from the clutches of repeated birth and death. Who cannot get you out. So you will be responsible for your family. We told straight out of his mouth that if you are doing this thing, you will be responsible for you and your family members. So are you willing to take the responsibility? And then they understand. And they were very positive, and then they started chanting also. So there is something in Hitopshad that says that Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maithunam Cha Samanyam etat pashuhi naranam. Dharmo hi eko adhika vishesho dharme hina pashuhi naranam. Samanan, sorry. Dharme nehina pashuhi samanan. The meaning of this word is that ahar, nidra, sleeping, eating, mating and defending is common in animals as well as in human form of life. So what is a common? Is four things are common. What is not common? The human form of life has additional intelligence. They can use this intelligence for the self-realization, for the God realization. And even after getting this human form of life, they are not using this body for the God realization, means they are wasting their human form of life and they are no better than animals. In the material world, to find the happiness is a joke. We often see the example that there is a well and man is in the support of the ropes. He is just hanging on the well and he has no other support where to go. And there are mouse who are cutting that ropes from the top. And down in the well, there are poisonous snakes. And he was like this, right in the middle of the well. And the mouse are cutting the ropes. And there is a beehive on the top. And the honey is coming. It's not coming in the mouth also. It's coming somewhere over here. But still he's trying to get that honey. And he's saying, okay, I will get this honey. One more try. I'll get this honey. So this is a human form of life. This is a conditional life. Now, today is a Thanksgiving Day, right? We will see that many millions and millions of people will go to Thanksgiving to get a small things like television or video players or video games or some groceries. What is it called? What do you call that? No, not groceries. No, some of the gross material things. For example, I have heard the story before a few years that on a Thanksgiving Day, there was a man who shoot the other man because he first kept the hand on the television set. And that man said, no, it's my television. And he told them, no, it's my television. So because of this small misunderstanding, they shoot each other. Nadehi nam sukham kinchit vidyate vidusam api dukham kinchit muda nam vyarth ahankaranam param. Means in this material world, it is seen sometime that the most intelligent person is unhappy. And sometimes it is seen that most foolish person is very happy. So it is just an expression of false ego to expertly perform the material activity and enjoy the material life. So here we see the Chitraketu. He was not willing to hear first. And finally he surrendered. He opened his ears and then he got enlightenment. And the moment he got enlightenment, he left the family life. An example is given like the analogy is given as an elephant. As elephant become free from the muddy reservoir of water, King Chitraketu came out of the dark well of the family life. And this is the qualification of the spiritual master, a self-realized soul, that he doesn't speak often. He speaks when it is necessary, when it is required. For example, Mother Lakshmi Muni was sharing that how Jad Bharata, he was silent, he was very self-realized soul, Atmagnya. He was satisfied in his Atma. He was not speaking when somebody was trying to harass him or somebody was trying to disturb him. But he spoke when King Rahuguna was trying to put a wrong theory. The reason he spoke because he was a king and he was responsible for his citizens. So if he not speak in front of the king, then yadyad acharati shrishta, then other people will follow the king. And therefore, to understand him, to give him the concept of the true religion and true ideas, he spoke in front of Rahuguna. So there is a verse called Jirayo mumuchotoyam kwachinna mumuchu shivam tatha gnan amritam kale gnani no dadadate nava. It is seen that sometimes in the autumn season, mountain is pouring a showers of water. And sometimes it doesn't pour water at all. Similarly, the person who are expert in the transcendental knowledge, they sometimes speak very eloquently. They shower the nectar and sometimes they do not speak at all. Now, the second thing is given in this verse that in every universe, there is a Sweta-Deepa planet. And in this Sweta-Deepa planet, there is a Shirodakshai Vishnu. And all incarnations are coming from Shirodakshai Vishnu. In 4.6, Bhagavad Gita says that Krishna is unborn. He is transcendental. He is Lord of all living entity. But still, he appears in every millennium in his own transcendental form, in his own Swarupa, as a Satchit Ananda. Why? Because it is causeless mercy. Prabhupada writes in the purport that in a Yogamaya form he appeared as an internal potency. And according to the Vishwakosh dictionary, Prabhupada mentioned that internal potency is a causeless mercy of Krishna, is descending in his two-handed form as a Shyam Sundar, so that we can meditate on this two-handed form rather than speculating on the impersonal form. So that was the whole conception of Krishna. Also in 631, it is said that person who understands this inconceivable nature of Krishna, that Krishna is a numerous form, he appears in a numerous living entities, but still he is one, and he still meditate on that one personal form. He always remain in Krishna in all circumstances. Iha yasya hare dase karmana manasagira nikhilasya api avastasu jivan muktasya uchyate. In all circumstances of life, by the mind, body and words, and by his work, he is acting in a Krishna consciousness. He is liberated, even though he is engaged in so many material activities. Now here is given the meaning of matra. What is the meaning of matra? Matra sparsas to contact. Matra sparsa means contact of sense with the sense object. And Krishna says it is anitya. Why is anitya? Because the way the sense and sense object come, it is temporary. It's very temporary. And the way the mind process, when the sense come in a contact with the sense object and the mind process the sense object, it's a very temporary process. Sometimes mind thinks this, and within fraction of second the mind changes the idea. So mind is totally whimsical and unpredictable. So Krishna was asking Arjuna, either you follow the mind and don't fight, or you don't follow the mind, tolerate the mind and perform your swadharma. And his swadharma was to go in the battlefield and fight. So Krishna was asking Arjuna to do the same thing. And if he do the same thing, he will be liberated. Or if he will not do, then he will be losing both the thing, eternal and material. Arjuna was, so the whole conception of this is that desire will definitely come in the mind. There is no question that we cannot stop the desire. But what should we do? As Prabhu was telling before, a day before, that apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram apa pravashanti sarve pravashanti yadvat tadvat kama ya pravashanti sarve shashanti apnoti shashanti apnoti natu kama kami. The meaning of this verse is that the sea, there is an ocean. Prabhu told that when so many rivers come into the ocean, and it seems that now sea is getting filled, the ocean is getting filled and it will overflow, but still it remains steady. It's great mystery. Similarly, the desire of the sense and sense object will definitely come into the mind of the person. But the steady person will not get disturbed. And why the desire will come? Because of his prarabdha karma. The desire will not stop. Even at the higher stage, the desire will come, but he will not act on the desire because of his prarabdha, because he is a steady mind. He will get a peace, not the person who is trying to satisfy the desire. Now this prarabdha karma is very elaborately explained in 434, 435, 436, 437. Krishna says that, what is 434? Tat vidhi paripratena shevaya. To get this knowledge from me, surrender with a submissive attitude. And once you get this knowledge, 435 said that yad gnatva na punar moham. You will never be bewildered. 436 says that api chetasi papebhya. That by getting this knowledge, your all sinful reactions will be eradicated. And text 37 is telling that yatha e dhamasi sammido agnir. Not only sinful, but your pious action will also be eradicated. But your prarabdha karma will never be eradicated. It will be weakened, but it will never go. The reason Baldev Buddhya Bhushan Maharaj is giving that, the reason that if the prarabdha karma will go, then the body, which is the result of the prarabdha karma, will go away. And there will be no one to preach the message of God. So Krishna deliberately keep the prarabdha karma of that person so that he can preach the message of God. Now Arjuna is asking in 336, in 337, Prabhu told again, Athakena prayukto ayam, papan charanti purusha. What impel me to do this sinful act, or impel the person to do the sinful act, even if we don't want to engage in a sinful reaction? We are often forced to do something we don't want to do. We know we have knowledge of scripture. We know we can differentiate it, what is good, what is bad. But still we are being forced to do so many things. The Arjuna is asking the same question. What impels the person to do this? And Krishna is saying in 437, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha. It is lust which turns into anger. Now Arjuna was bewildered. What is lust? Where it comes from? And how to conquer the lust? Then Krishna is telling in same 3, 40, 41, 42, 43 that Indriyani Manobuddhir. Lust is situated in Indriya, the senses, Mano, it's mind, and Buddhi means intelligence. Okay, how to conquer the lust? Krishna, how to conquer the lust? Then Krishna is telling that Indriyani parani ahur indriyabhya paramana manastu para buddhi yo para manastu sa. The senses are greater than the dull matter. Our body is dull. Body will perish, but senses never perish. But higher than senses is the mind. Because mind, it regulates the senses. It guides the senses. It sets the senses into motion. Higher than mind is intelligence. Why? Because the function of intelligence is nischaya, to determine the truth, what is good to you, what is not good to you. And what is the function of mind? Sankalpa, decision. So oftentimes it is seen that mind overcomes the intelligence. It decides immediately without making nischaya. And that's why we are suffering. In text number 5:14 and 5:15, it is said that the Atmagnya, who is self-realized soul, in Bhagavad Gita I am telling about, that who is the Atmagnya, who is a self-realized soul, who knows the difference between the soul and the body. He knows that soul is different from the body. Soul doesn't do anything. He doesn't act as an agent and order anyone that, okay, you do this or you do that. Neither he perform the action for himself. Soul is neutral. Soul doesn't do anything. Then who is doing the work? Who is responsible for the pious and impious reaction of jiva? If soul is not doing, is Krishna is responsible? No, Krishna is not responsible because Krishna is Satchit Ananda. Always. Krishna is a Parasa Shakti Vividhaya Shuryate. He has got different energies. Krishna is Nimitta Matram Evasu. He is only the efficient cause. Bhagavad Gita says that Krishna is only the efficient cause. Namam karmani limpanti. He is engaged in creation, maintenance and destruction. But he is not responsible for this. He is only the efficient cause. It is just because of the karma of the people. They want to enjoy. They have the previous desire to enjoy. And that desire is in the susupti state in the pradhan. The impression of past, that swabhav, is there in the susupti state in pradhan. Susupti means sleeping state. But when the smell, don't do that. Smell, when it come in the contact with the mind, in the proximity of mind, it disturbs the mind. Similarly, Ishvara, Krishna is in the proximity of the jiva. And what he do? Why is in proximity? Because he has desire to create the material world. And Krishna, when he glances on the pradhan, because of his proximity, what the pradhan become agitation. There is agitation of pradhan and comes mahat-tattva, and that mahat-tattva differentiate into living body. And that past impression which was in susupti state, according to different desire, it takes different forms. So that is the whole concept, why the person takes different body. So Krishna is only the nimitta matram. Krishna has nothing to do with this creation and maintenance function. It is said that Krishna is Satchit Ananda Vigra. We know that Krishna is Satchit Anand. And similarly, the jiva who are part and parcel of Krishna is also Satchit Anand. They are blissful, they are full of knowledge, they are full of eternity. But they forget the relationship with Krishna. It says that Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ateva Santa Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. Means only the devotees of Krishna are peaceful because they know their constitutional relation as a servant of Krishna. While Bhukti and Mukti and Karmi and Yogi, they are always engaged in fruity work, and as a result, they are always trying to seek the result. And the Krishna is a Yagneshwara, trying to fulfill the desire by giving the different result of the activity. Naishkarmiyam api achyuta bhava varjitam nashobate jnanam alam niranjanam kuta punah shashvat abhadram ishware nacha arpitam yat api akaranam. Means the knowledge of self-realization. Self-realization knowledge is very good. What is the knowledge of self-realization? That we are not this body, we are Atma. This is very good. Knowledge of self-realization is very good, but it devoid the conception of infallible Lord. It does not good well. It does not look well. Nishkarma bhava, nishkama karma. It does not include Krishna consciousness. Even though you are self-realized person like Brahmavadis and Mayavadis, you are not in a good position because you are losing the conception of Supreme Personality of Godhead. What to speak of the fruit activity, which is transient by the nature and is painful from the beginning, if they are not being utilized in the service of Krishna. Therefore it is said that kama sarva kamova moksha kama udardi. Whether you have desire, whether you don't have any desire, whether you are desiring for the liberation, anything you go to Krishna. And last thing it is given in this purport is Krishna is Angani Yasya Saklendriya Vritta Manti. We perform different action according to our different body parts. But Krishna is, each and every function can perform other function. His hands can see, his eyes can eat. Advaita Achyuta Anadi Ananta Rupam. He is Advaita, he is a absolute, he is infallible. Anadi, he is for no beginning and no end. Ananta Rupam, he has different form. But still, he is coming in the two-handed Shyam Sundar form. Just because of his causeless murti. Just because of his causeless mercy. Rama di murti shu kala niye menatistan. Why? Why is coming as Rama, Krishna, Narsingha? Because of his causeless mercy. Kintu prabhorya eva. Means what is that? Krishna is Kintu. Krishna is coming Kintu because he is a causeless mercy, to bestow a causeless mercy on the devotees. In conclusion, it is said that Krishna is controller, supreme controller. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Eke Chamsha Kala Pumshan. If we know this fact, either knowingly or unknowingly, we will be liberated. But if we don't know this fact, we are in a great difficulty. For example, Maharaj Khatwanga. Maharaj Khatwanga fought for the demigod for so many years. And at the end, the demigod wants to give him material benediction. And he doesn't ask for any material benediction. He asks for only one thing, that what is the duration of my life? This is the prime duty of all the human being. What is the duration of my life? And the demigods told that your duration of life is just a fraction of seconds. He gave up everything and he sat down at one place, concentrating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that Maharaj Khatwanga has performed the devotional act only for a few moments and he was succeeded. So everyone has to try to do this devotion service right from the beginning. Durlabha manushya deho dehinam shana bhangura tatrapi durlabha manye vaikuntha priya darshina. Manushya de, the life of the human being is very rare, is very rarely achieved. And what is more rare than this? The association of devotees. So one should seek the association of devotees. What do you mean by association of devotees? Staying in the temple, closing the room and sitting quietly? No. Going, knocking the door. Prabhu, what should I share with you? What should I learn from you? That's the association. Use this opportunity to stay in the temple to get as much as you can. Otherwise, anyone can stay in the room and think that, okay, I'm doing the great sadhana, I'm the great sadhaka. You are foolish. You are knowing nothing. Go and ask the person what you're doing. Prabhu, what you read today? Can you share with me your nectar? Can you share? I am facing this problem. I have difficulty. Can you share with me? How can I get out of this situation? If you're not doing this, you're a loser. You are a loser. Everyone is going to Krishna, but how fast you want to go, you have to decide it. If anyone who is trying to take a shelter of anyone else except Krishna is fool. Veena upasarpati aparamhibali swalangulena atitirt atisindum. It is just like catching the tail of a dog and trying to cross the ocean. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions? I was trying to sing one bhajan. If you don't have question, we can start the small bhajan. We have time. Okay. Prabhuji, can you pass this to everyone? Yeah. You one to me, if you don't mind. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
In the text number 16, Prabhupada translates.
Text number 16.
In text number 16.
Okay. In
text number 16, Srila Prabhupada has translated that Chitraketu controlled his senses and then offered obeisances. So I was, if you read the translation, 16 or 17?
17.
17. Mm-hmm. So what does that imply? Can you read the translation again and explain on that?
What was that?
So the translation is that Chitraketu controlled his senses and then offered obeisances to the rishis and munis.
Oh yeah, king bathed in the water of Yamuna and according to prescribed duty offered the oblation to water of forefather demigod. Very gravely controlling his senses and mind. He then offered respect and obeisances to the son of Lord Brahma. So your question is that, what do you mean by controlling his senses? He offered his obeisances, right? Okay. So Initially, the same was the thing with the Arjuna. Krishna was a well-wishing friend of Arjuna. He was trying to address the Arjuna problem by posing different theories. But the Arjuna was totally dissatisfied. He was not able to grasp the things. Why? Are you getting the point? Because he was attached. He was unable to act. He was trying to philosophize the thing by giving different arguments. Same was the question with Chitraketu. Angira and Narad Muni told in beginning that you are not prone to have a child. But he was insisting that I need a child. I need a child. And to fulfill his wish, his spiritual master has given him the blessing, okay, then put the name Harshashoka. So he was not understanding the situation, but still his Guru Maharaj has given him the benediction what he wants. Now, what happened with the Arjuna when Krishna was saying that, and Arjuna started understanding the situation when the situation changed. Krishna took in a derogatory and a grave way, very gravely he started speaking to Krishna. He changes his position from friend to teacher. And when the position has changed, Arjuna has given the power of attorney to Krishna. And by controlling his all senses, without having anything in the mind, the desire come in the mind. Apurya manam achala pratishtam. The desire was coming in the mind of Arjuna to do this, but no, he understand that I have to work as a nishkama karma yoga. I have to work for Krishna. It is the order of my spiritual master. So no matter how many desires coming in my mind, I have to strictly obey with the situation of my spiritual master, because I was trying to solve the situation. In X number 8, 2.8, it says that Krishna was trying to solve the problem by his own ways, but he was not able to solve the problem. So he surrendered to his spiritual master. And he says that good education, good knowledge will not help to solve the problem unless you surrender to the spiritual master. And there is a qualification of spiritual master is given, that kiba shudra kiba sannyasi kiba vipra kiba sannyasi shudra ke naya yahi Krishna tattva veta sehi guru haya. Right? There is a verse over there that whoever knows the science of Krishna, whoever can help you to get out of the clutches of the life, he is a true guru. And without doubt, kriyatam yadi kuto api labhyet tatra mulyam tutra laulyam mulyam abekikalam janakoti sukrit na labhyate. Means if he is getting the instruction, if he is getting Krishna anywhere, you purchase it without delay. And Chitraketa understood that this is I should do now, because I was trying to solve the problem. I am crying. 9,999,000 wives are crying, and I cannot save him. How to do what to do to save myself and save these people? Because he was the king, he was responsible for so many citizens, he was responsible for 9,999,000 wives. So if he has to first be a stable person. So he understood that to be me a stable, I have to surrender to my spiritual master. So he controlled all the senses and he offered the obeisances. Shishyasteham swadimam tam prapamnam. I am confused of my duty. I am surrendering to you, spiritual master. Please tell me what is truth for me. I am miser. I have been totally confused. That was the situation over here. Is it make sense? Yes, Prabhuji. I think Jai Baldev Prabhu was next. Okay.
Thank you for the class.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I missed the point. Why we still have material desires even at the highest stage?
No. No material desire.
I mean,
No, there is no material desire highest state. Because of the prarabdha karma, because of the impression of the past, Jai Jagannath Prabhu is often telling this thing, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, you are often attending the Bhagavad Gita sessions. Jai Jagannath Prabhu often quotes this, that because of the impression of the past, the desire comes in the mind of the person. Desires. Sometimes you often see that we often are sitting sometime and something really bad come in your mind. Really bad come in your mind. And what to do with this thing? This is because of our past impression. We've been following so many lifetimes, we're following the same things again and again. So still the desire has not been vanquished. It doesn't vanquish very soon. So when the person is practicing even in the Krishna consciousness, we often face the same problem. The desire coming. But Jai Jagannath Prabhu is saying that you should not be disturbed by the situation, because it will come because of the prarabdha karma. But you should continue your preaching activity, you should continue your Krishna consciousness, and eventually it will go away. Because rasoham apsi konteya Vishaya vinay vartante nirahasya deina raso vardam rasopi asya. Because you are engaged in a higher taste. Krishna's name is so powerful and so pure that everything will go away eventually. But you have to stick to the process. You don't have to get disturbed. Everyone is disturbed by so many things, Prabhu. Believe me, it's not only you. According to his different activity and karma, everyone is facing that same thing. But still they're hanging on because they know that they are in the higher service, and Krishna will help them because they are working sincerely with the full faith, serving Vaishnav, offering the obeisances to Vaishnav, serving the mission, serving spiritual master, dancing, kirtan, and eating prasadam. That's a normal routine. If you continue with the same thing, morning program is very important. Very, very important. The person who is not coming to the morning program, he will never get the taste. Forget it of Krishna consciousness. Sorry, Prabhus. The 6 hours of the morning is very important. You have to strictly follow it.
Hare Krishna. Hello, is this thing on? Hello. Is it on? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for a nice class. It's nice to have that variety. Everyone has their. So it's good to hear. So, what is
Grihanta Kupam.
What does that mean again? Dark
Trying well, where there is
family?
no water and person is trying to find the water. When there is no happiness in material life and person is trying to find the happiness.
So yeah, specifically family life to go along with that thing. So I'll kind of continue the theme I was going with yesterday. I'm glad you quoted that verse, Kiba Vipra, Kiba Niyasi, etc. Yeah, exactly. So it's a really nice section in Leelamrita, Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita, where he really humbles the sannyasis and some of the monks because they were kind of criticizing the grihastas. Are you really advanced? Can you really lead? And so he often quoted that verse, Kiba Vita. Basically, anyone can be guru if he's a learned scholar or I mean, it doesn't matter whether one is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Grihasta, etc. If one knows the science of Krishna, he can become a guru. So in this regard, to go along with this theme, so a lot of times we think, yes, family life is a blind well, but often, we live in a temple. We don't realize this is also family life. In family life, you become familiar with your family members. You see them all the time. And the point you were making is that, we live around each other all the time. So the same thing, family life, we become familiar and then we create offenses. So it's not necessarily, we could call it a monastery. It's a mansion. We get 3 meals a day. And, it's Grihasta ashram. We're surrounded, of course, the women in this ashram, they're not ordinary women. They're like gopis from the spiritual world. But at the same time, what kind of ashram? We're surrounded by women all the time. And so a lot of times people think, oh, if there were no women around, I can control my senses. But that's not true. Even sage Sobari Muni, he was meditating in the water for 10,000 years. And he offended Garuda. Garuda ate a fish. And had he make a true offense, Lord Vishnu would have said something. It's Lord Vishnu's bird carrier. And so we think, even if we're surrounded by so many men or whatever, I can control my senses. Nah, you could see, that's why Bari Muni, he got attracted from fish during intercourse. And so that's why Krishna humiliated him, because he created this Vaishnava Parad. So we could be in an ashram full of men and we could see ants doing it. And then, we fall down. So this is the essence, in essence, even Bhaktisiddhanta in one article he wrote, assuming the role of being a guru.
The question is?
Question. It's not a question, it's a comment.
Yeah.
Yes, comment. So in the Bhaktisiddhanta by Bob, volume 3. So it's page 65, assuming the role of being a guru, something like that. He mentions that we shall see all Vaishnavas as objects of our veneration. And then he quotes the Trinadapi Suni Chena, Tador Iva Sahishnuna, Amani Namanadena, Kirtaniya Azade. We read so many verses in the Gita where it basically says it's impossible to control the senses. It's really impossible. Good luck trying to do it. No, so it's not possible. We only need the mercy of the Guru. And from this King Church of the Kids who passed on, we can see that we can't see everything. We don't have a complete picture of everyone's consciousness. We can't see past, present, and future. Mm-hmm. So these points are maybe not necessarily emphasized enough. We could go from Brahmachari ashram to Grihastha ashram, back and forth eternally. But as long as we keep committing Vaishnava Parad, then,
that's right.
There's no question of controlling the senses.
That we are not talking about the Grihasthas in the family, in his temple life. All the Grihasthas in family in its temple life are engaged in some sort of deity worship. So they know the aim of the life. But the Grahamedhis, who are in the working 24 hours, they don't have any conception of the devotion life. We are talking about those people. Second thing, Sabari Muni he was fall down because he has committed an offense to Garuda. So the offense, we should save ourselves from the offense. And the thing is that it is like a mansion. I was talking with Luke Prabhu yesterday. That Luke Prabhu was saying that, oh wow, this is it how do you feel in the temple? I told that it is like a Swargloka. It is really like a Swargloka, getting 3 times a meal when you stay in the van. You sometimes eat 2 times, the food which is kept for 2 days. You have to eat that food. It's just like a Swargloka. Here 4 hours of rest is more than enough. In a van you used to sit 7 hours, but you are not feeling good. But here, if you sleep 4 hours, that's more than enough. It's just like a Swargloka, 3 times samosas, aloo parothas. It's not, it's not a brahmachari life, believe me. But that's fine. That's understandable. Everyone has their own. But the thing is that the more important thing that we have to commit, we have to protect ourselves from Vaishnava offenses. And here, the grahastas are engaged in deity worship, so they know what they are doing. So we are not talking about the grahastas over here.
Absolutely, but I'm referring to where Prabhupada humbles the sannyasis, because they had a misconception of what grihasta life. Of course, grihamedi. Of course, we're talking about that, but to not have a misconception of what grihasta life. So this section is very important in Lilamrita. It's called India, and the title is India, and the subtitle is Unifying ISKCON. India unifying ISKCON. Prabhupada really humbles the sannyasis of there's misconception of thinking that the grihastas can be leaders. So if you haven't read Lilamrita, you should really check out that section.
I think we are to do
Hare
a
Krishna.
bhajan, so we can keep really short. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have to do. Yeah, go on.
And in 1865, Srila Prabhupada writes the words which you quoted from Brahma Samhita. He writes on that there are descriptions of Krishna found in the Brahma Samhita and other literatures. One should fix his mind on this original form of Godhead, Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multi forms as Vishnu, Narayan, Rama, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. So, can you please throw some light on this?
What is that?
The Lord has multi forms as Vishnu, Narayan, Rama, but a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna.
I told you, Krishna come in the form of two-handed form because of his causeless mercy. In 631, it is said that a person who understands this inconceivable nature of the Lord, that he comes, he has numerous form, he appears in numerous living entity, but still he is only one, his two-handed form. And he meditated on that personal form. He always remain in Krishna. And I quoted the verse also, Iha yasya hare dasya karmana manasagira nikhilasya pyavastasu jivan mukta. Means there are numerous forms. Varaha, Rama, the Murti, Shukala, Niyamatishta, Nana, Avatar, Makarod, Bhuvaneshu, Kintu, Krishna, Swayama, Parama, Krishna, Kintu, Krishna, Swayama, Parama. What is that, Prabhu? Kintu, Krishna, Swayam, Parama, Paramatma, Pumaniyo. Govinda Madi Purushantamam Bhajami. Kintu, Krishna is the original person, two-handed. Prabhu, if we try to meditate on Varaha, will you be able to meditate on Varaha? Matsya avatar, will feeling the relish. In a hog avatar, you feel relish. It's still Krishna, but our senses are defective. We cannot concentrate on that form. So, Krishna appears as a two-handed form as Sham Sundar, so that we can understand that he's holding the flute, he's playing with Gopi, his eternal consort Radharani, and he's staying in Vrindavan, herding the cows. That meditation is enough for us. And it is enough to take us back to Godhead in the 4 different rasas, Vatsalya, Madhurya. There are 5 rasas, primary rasas, whatever, and it will help you. But the most important thing is to concentrate on the two-handed form. That's the most important point Prabhupada wants to say over there. Yes, Prabhuji. I think we want to, yes.
Do the bhajan. Quick question is, you mentioned that the soul is not responsible being neutral, and neither is Krishna responsible, but you didn't say who is responsible. So in that situation, how is that
I told you.
pious and impious activities?
I told you. It's because of the previous impression, previous desire, the swabhava of the person, which is in the susupti state in pradhan, that karma, that because of the karma, Krishna says that I am nimitta matra, only efficient cause. Krishna desire to create. Krishna has nothing has to do any work. Namam karmani limpanti, name karmas palaspura. I don't have to do anything. The whole creation, destruction and maintenance take place because of me, but this is mainly happening due to the swabhav or previous karma or previous desire to enjoy. That is why you are taking the birth again and again. So Krishna is only the official. Krishna glance at Pradhan. Krishna's duty is only glancing. Pradhan, churning takes place, Mahatattva comes, differentiation, different bodies, and you get a different body according to your karma. Nimitta matram evasu shrijanam sarva karmani pradhan karani bhuta yatovai shrija sakataya. I am only the efficient cause. Because of your past impression, because of your past desire, you are getting new bodies one after the other. But the knowledge of the jiva is covered eternally. and they become bewildered by the ignorance. And because of that ignorance, they consider Krishna to be a hostile. They consider Krishna to be enemy, that Krishna is responsible. But Krishna said that no, I am not responsible. I am Paritrana Sadhuna. I am over here to give happiness to my devotees. The killing of demon, Vinashaya Dushkitam, can do anyone. I am over here to enjoy with my devotees. Does it answer, Prabhu?
Well, so who is responsible is the karma is responsible. Karma. That sounds like the philosophy that Krishna gave for worshipping. That sounds like the philosophy that Krishna gave for worshipping Govardhan Hill. That actually the karma is responsible.
That is because the reason he gave this philosophy because Vrajvasis.
What philosophy is that called again? Karma Mimamsha, right? It's only karma.
Yeah, karma Mimamsha philosophy. Because the Vrajvasis, because Krishna is a very clever person. To turn Vrajvasis there was an immediate situation, it was an urgent requirement. Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, right? It was urgent requirement for Krishna to give this theory, this argument, because they were not understanding. If the Krishna said, okay, I am the supreme personality of Godhead, Giri Govardhan is supreme personality of Godhead, you should go and give everything to Giri Govardhan. What are you talking about, Krishna? No, then Krishna has to turn the whole point that falling of the rain is a neutral work which Indra does to everyone. It falls on the rock also, it falls on the river also, it falls everywhere. So it is a duty of a demigod. If a person is been designated to do some work, he is supposed to do because he is paid by Krishna to do that work. Indra is being paid. He is getting salary every month. So he has to do that work. So Krishna is saying that no matter you pray to Indra or not, but you'll be getting a rain, either torrential downpour of the rain or maybe small droplets, but you'll be getting a rain. But Govardhan is providing the fresh grasses, stone, jewels, and all the minerals. So our duty is to pray to the something which is giving us something, not to the something which is been giving to everyone. It is a duty. Govardhan is giving without any pay. Jewels, diamonds, minerals, pastures, milk, water, everything is coming from Govardhan. So we should go to Govardhan then. And that was the urgent requirement. Because it was, suppose let's we say to Karmi people, we go outside and say the Govardhan this is my Govardhan Shila. You should pay obeisance to Shila. Come on, this is stone. So it was a requirement for the Vrindavan Vrajvasis. It was just kind of leela, but it was urgent requirement from the Vrajvasis to do this. Does it answer? I know your questions are difficult.
I still think the soul is ultimately responsible. Because the soul is responsible for his activities. Krishna is not responsible. He mentions over and over, we've been reading, how actually the individual soul, he's responsible for his miserable plight in material world.
Yes, no.
So ultimately,
in the Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says that, Indriyani parani haru indriya baramana. Soul is not responsible. Soul is always looking for the higher pleasure. Soul is always connected to the super soul. And Krishna says in 436 that either Jiva is responsible or is a God responsible. Soul is not responsible at all. Prabhu, you want to add something? Please.
This is a topic. This came up last year when I was in India. Teachings of Kapila Dev. So summarily, as Acharya Nishta is raising doubt, we have to talk about the false ego. So here Kapila Dev is telling, when the soul is under the spell of material nature and false ego, identifying his body as the self, he becomes absorbed in material activities. And by the influence of false ego, he thinks that he is the proprietor of everything.
Yes.
So, conditioned soul, the presence of ahankara, false ego, the false ego causes us to misidentify with ourselves, and so we act.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Prabhu has really clearly explained it. Because of the impression of the past desire. No, I'm saying. Now let me add this thing. Because of the impression of the past desire, they are very strong. Listen. Let me complete one thing. The impression of past desire are very strong. The soul is not responsible, I will tell you. It's very strong. It covers the soul. But soul has a free desire. There's a free will. Either he can select the scripture or can follow the mind. So if the soul follows the scriptures, even though mind like it, for example, Krishna is giving the example, looking at other people's wives. Mind try to look at other people's wives. But we have to follow the scripture, that is not good. or association with the devotee. Mind doesn't want to associate with the devotees. But if the soul follow the scriptures, that okay, scripture says that we have to associate with devotees, looking at other people is not good, even though mind like it, but it try to go against the mind, then soul will come to his natural position. Free will. Soul is utilizing a free will. For example, when a disease there is an acute disease, it can only be cured by a prolonged medication. Similarly, the original state of soul can only become by practicing Krishna consciousness sincerely through a long time. Because we are overwhelmed by the desire of mind. Our intelligence is the main thing. Soul is the main thing. But this mind is overwhelming the intelligence and soul. And the soul and intelligence is getting covered. And so we are as Prabhu told, we are misidentifying ourselves with body. Impulses. You can speak in mic, Prabhu. Microphones, everyone can hear.
Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. So the soul is not responsible, you're saying, because the nature of the soul is Sachidananda, it's pure. It is not, it is the nature of the soul is to engage in devotional service.
Yeah.
It's like oil and water, they don't mix. So I think that's where was what you're talking about. But then the soul has conditioning. In this material world, the soul has conditioning, beginning with false ego, the mind, the intelligence, and the senses. So it is accurate to say that the soul, under the influence of these conditioning, is acting, is responsible. But then one can say, but the soul is not responsible. So it's like that, dialogue. But it's not Krishna, as he's saying, or it's not, I guess false ego either. But what is false ego? There is no false ego without the soul. Yeah. So it has to be understood in that
And
way.
Krishna also gives the analogy of a dam. That when water is in the dam, it is like water cannot flow anywhere. But when we perform the bodily actions, when the sense we are trying to control the senses forcefully, it's like a water in the dam. Water is like in the one place. But when we perform the bodily actions, where senses are involved, the sense come out, the water come out of the dam, and it got free thing. And at that time, it started searching different things. But if the soul is given more important at that point, then it can control the senses. And that's Vishaya Vinay Vardnante Nirahasa Dehina Rasa Vajam Rasopiyasa Param Dishtva Nivardate. We have to be at that position. Prabhuji, you want to share something? Golak Prabhu, Golak.
Yeah, in this Kapila Dev's teaching, the topic of purifying the consciousness, chitta, that keeps coming up basically. So when the consciousness is purified, or the false ego is is again converted, as you're saying, when lust is converted to love, or false ego is given up, and one is in one's real ego, then one is acting on the soul platform. Then the soul listens to the Paramatma. So, like as you're saying, as it is intended to, the soul is receiving direction from the Paramatma. The soul is guiding the intelligence. Intelligence is guiding the mind. Mind is guiding the senses. Yeah. So the false ego, the contaminated consciousness, that has to be purified.
Yes.
Then one can act on the soul platform.
Can you sing a short bhajan, if you don't mind? Everybody's ready? Prabhuji, you have some question? You can ask me later on. We can sit and, if we are for here, right, for whole day. Thank you for coming. We can just sing a small bhajan. Okay, Prabhu, we need your help. Okay, we'll read the translation one up. I'll read the translation. You can just read. It's very beautiful translation. We are seeking the mercy of Lord Gauranga. Oh, my dear Lord Gauranga, please show your mercy to this lowly and destitute soul. O Lord, there is no one more fallen than myself in all three worlds. Holding a grasp between my teeth, O Lord Gaura, I am calling out to you now. Please be compassionate upon me and come to reside within the temple of my heart. If you do not give your mercy, seeing how fallen I am, then why are you known as Patita Pavan, the merciful savior of the fallen? I am plunged amid the violent hurricane striking waves in the ocean of this material world, from which there is no escape. Kindly give me the gift of your divine lotus feet, which are compared to a boat in which your servant may cross over the ocean of birth and death. Narottam Das, the servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, ceaselessly make this prayer. Gaurange Karuna Karo Dinaheen Jane Musamapatita Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane. With heart, with full heart. Aurange Karuna Karo Dinaheen Jane Musamapatita Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane. Dante Trinadori Gaura देखी है तुम्हारा कृपा करिए शो अमार हृदय मंदिरे. जड़ी दया न करिबे पतित देखिया पतित पावन नामा किशोर लागिया. पड़ेछि बाबा तो पाने नाही का निष्ठारा श्रीचरण तरन दाने दासे करो पारा. नाही का निष्ठारा विचरण तने दाने श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासरानुदास प्रार्थना करे सदा नरोत्तम दास. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranu प्रार्थना करिए सदा नरोत्तम दास. Gauranitai ki. Jai. Thank you. Thank you very much.